Smash World Tour unjustly shut down. An absolute sin, an affront to God. It was a very awful thing that happened recently. The Smash World Tour, the biggest circuit the professional Smash Brothers scene has ever seen, biggest prize pool, and it was supposed to happen in a couple weeks, but the night before Thanksgiving, the tournament organizers got an email from Nintendo that basically implied it needs to be shut down. Now they came out with their statement, and it also implicated an organization named Panda as being an accomplice to Nintendo. In fact, perhaps even the main big bad raid boss behind the scenes that had a history over the last year of them working with Nintendo of trying to strong arm other tournaments into joining the Panda Cup circuit, which was a competing circuit. And the CEO of Panda, his name is Alan, he made these threats to other organizations when they wouldn't join him, saying, "It'd be a real shame if this got shut down, if Nintendo had to get involved with your unlicensed event. You sure you don't want to join Panda? You positive? It's safe over here. Suckle on our bosom. We'll keep you safe." And he'd just make these threats. So, when Smash World Tour got the bad news, they blew the lid on Panda, specifically Alan's behavior. Not really Panda as a whole, it was focused on Alan. It's been 2 days since that bombshell, and now we finally have a statement from Nintendo and a statement from Panda. And they're both so fucking weak. They are pathetic. They're pitiful. Very wimpy stuff. They basically keep saying that what they did is they didn't accept their license. They said that they didn't meet the criteria for their health and safety regulations, which is so weird. Like the health and safety rules they were saying Smash World Tour didn't meet, so they couldn't grant a license for. And I have to wonder what that means. Like, what are the health and safety things? Like, they provide a venue, they provide everything a human being needs to survive, except, like, bulletproof vests, I guess, just in case things get rowdy. Like, I don't know what they expect. It's not like Panda Cup does anything special in that regard. So it seems like a bunch of fucking nonsense. Because of COVID or something? Well, even then, that still wouldn't work. Oh, this is part of Panda Cup. It's even branded on Panda Cup's YouTube page. Yeah, you're right. Regardless, it doesn't seem like this would be the cause for the health and safety concerns about the masks. Yeah, it looks like masks aren't required. Like, Breezy wasn't wearing a mask here. So, I don't think it's like a mask thing. I don't think it's COVID protocol. It just seems like they looked for any excuse imaginable to slap Smash World Tour down or not give them the license. But yeah, they basically... So they tried to, like, wipe their hands of it and say, no, we're pretty innocent here. We didn't grant them a license, but we said they could still run their tournament. Which is a little misleading, because since Smash World Tour was directly communicating with Nintendo, the statement was the days of unlicensed events is over, that time is over or something, that time is gone, I can't remember the exact quote. And also, this is the biggest load of dog shit I've seen all day. Nintendo cares about Super Smash Bros. Fans and its community very much. We hope to continue to hear their passionate feedback. That was so baloney that my voice cracked even reading it. My vocal folds couldn't even get through that sentence without some kind of hiccup in there. Absolute nonsense. What a load of dirty barnacles. Nobody cares less about the Smash Brothers scene than Nintendo. The amount of times they'll pull their pants down just to drop their ass on it last minute to shut things down is baffling. And there's a statement coming on the back of them shutting down the biggest one right before it happened. This statement boils down to Nintendo saying, it was a misunderstanding, we didn't grant them a license for 2022 or 2023, which is a weird thing to say because Smash World Tour didn't ask for a license for 2023, they didn't submit an application for that, so this is truly coming out of nowhere. And then they said that they verbally let them know that they weren't requiring they cancel the finals because of the impact it would have on the players. Which is not exactly faithful to the events, because they made the statement verbally that the days of unlicensed events or whatever, that time is gone. So by declining their license for 2022, the implication is, okay, so we can't do this. You're gonna shut our shit down. Which is how this all happened. So it's just not a very strong statement from Nintendo. it doesn't really shed light on anything other than their incompetence and inability to work with the community or clearly convey messages and information. I'd like to briefly explain this a bit deeper. So, Smash World Tour throughout the circuit was in direct communication with Nintendo and had their unofficial blessing to continue. It wasn't an official license or a partnership like that, but they had like the nod of approval to continue without intervention. It was something they were completely okay with having the Panda Cup and the Smash World Tour run at the same time. And it was all well and good until shit got stinky. The Nintendo representative they were communicating with verbally told them that the days of unlicensed events and tournaments were days that were now behind them, and then they received in writing a notice that they were not receiving a license for the Smash World Tour. Thus, connecting these two dots leads them and anyone with a brain to believe that they are being shut down, which is something Nintendo has done before with Big House, and in a pretty similar way as I understand it. So that's how Smash World Tour got axed by Nintendo. And the statement from Nintendo about what they verbally said to the tournament organizers isn't actually accurate to what was conveyed to them. They received entirely different information from the representative, and in the Smash World Tour official statement about the situation, they debunk that claim. What they say contradicts Nintendo's statement. And of course, it's a huge deal because the Smash World Tour is the biggest tournament the Smash scene has ever had, and it's going to cost the tournament organizers thousands upon thousands of dollars out of their own pockets, as well as the players that were attending. So it's just a big fucking disaster. This Panda one, it would have been better if they actually just printed a blank document with the Panda logo at the bottom. I stole that little comment there from someone down here. I don't want to scroll too far because I saw Council of Cox earlier on Twitter and now I'm a little afraid. Someone edited this and it was just a blank page with this logo, and that was a better response. This is so trash. It is so trash. They suck their own dick. They talk about like, oh, you know, we provide the, resources, expertise to help with a lot of majors. We're really community focused. We want to build the best community ever and the best events. And there's no greed on our side. We just want Smash to fuck ass. Like, that's what we want. And then they very briefly, very flippantly acknowledge that their CEO went full-blown, like, Winter Soldier over here. In the Smash World Tour statement, there are a number of accusations leveled against Dr. Allen, the CEO of Panda. In reality, Dr. Allen, as Nintendo of America has corroborated, has been one of the more vocal supporters of the broader community in the Smash World Tour organizers in internal conversations. However, the Panda Cup team does acknowledge and regret an interaction between Dr. Allen and Beyond the Summit. That's referring to the now very public threat that Allen made against Beyond the Summit, saying if they don't give him broadcasting rights or join Panda, he might have to get Nintendo involved and shut them down. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but that was the overall message he delivered. It was posted by one of the tournament organizers from Beyond the Summit, and they're acknowledging it briefly, in which he spoke in a manner which did not reflect either guidance from Nintendo or our own standards. Panda took efforts to rectify the situation immediately, and in the second half of the year, a dedicated team made up of multiple staff members was assembled to manage Panda Cup activities and serve as a primary point of contact for event runners, removing the possibility of future miscommunications from occurring. The fact that they label that a miscommunication and not a blatant attempt at strong-arming the grassroots organization is fucked. And that's the only acknowledgement they have of this whole soap opera. This was not the only time Dr. Allen had done this. Other orgs came forward as well. Other TOs came forward. Golden Guardians also talked a little bit about Dr. Allen in another tweet, and they just kind of brush it off with no sympathy or any care whatsoever. And then they finish it with Panda Cup team has invested thousands of hours towards making sure this year's cup has been as strong an offering as we can provide, and we look forward to continuing to build alongside the communities we serve a promising future for Smash. And there's no future for Panda. So most people are abandoning ship from Panda right now. IBDW, who's one of the top 3 players in the world for Melee, is now a free agent. It seems like most Panda players are abandoning. Like, this shit is sinking. Like, this is a disaster. I don't know how this group goes forward anymore. It seems like Panda's kind of dead now from the actions of their CEO. And in none of this did they make any kind of clarification or talk about their involvement with these less than appropriate business actions. Instead, they just default to gargling the asshole of Nintendo saying, look at what Nintendo said. They're right about it. That's what happened. It's just a misunderstanding. It was about licensing, and Smash World Tour just, we never wanted to shut them down. We were surprised as you guys. We were fucking shocked. We couldn't believe our eyes. Even if Panda is dead, can Grassroots still operate due to Nintendo now? That we don't know. I will say, I should have left their statement up so we can go back and forth. I will say one thing from this statement that gives me some sense of optimism, though I know this is misplaced because it's Nintendo and their motto is we rub our ass with optimism. They made this statement. Even to the point, oh wait, whoops, almost highlighted the wrong one. Oh, it's the first sentence here. We are open to partnering with other organizations and will continue to offer licensing for major tournaments outside of the Panda Cup. Christ. It was so unbelievable my eyes couldn't even register it when I looked back on it. Yeah, so that statement right there gives me some level of hope that they seem open to working with the community. But that's, of course, just fluff. Until they prove that, I have no reason to put any amount of faith in the statement. That could just be there for some corporate pandering. Then why didn't they license Smash World Tour? Exactly. The health and safety concerns of the fans, I suppose. I don't know. It literally means nothing. And they say it's important that the partner adheres to brand and IP guidelines and conducts itself according to professional and organizational best practices. Meanwhile, they partnered with the Smash Bros. Mafia with Alan at Panda Cup. Like, this is nothing. This doesn't make any sense. If they're open to partnering with other orgs, Smash World Tour was literally the most reliable and most well-respected. VGBC has the most goodwill in the entire community. Well, on par with, like, Summit. Beyond the Summit. If the issue was health, why would they not say, hey, this is the issue, fix it? I don't know, because they probably couldn't think of anything. like, what do you mean? The health and safety of fans at a Smash Bros. Tournament? Like, the worst thing that could happen there is someone passes out from extreme odor. And that's, like, it's not like Panda solved that problem or anything. Like, there's nothing. They didn't have anything. And for what it's worth, when I went to Low Tide in person, it really didn't smell bad. In fact, I was probably the smelliest person there because I hadn't showered in the last 24 hours and was about to go on a 20-hour road trip and had already spent 4 hours in a car. I was probably like the Methodist that blew through. So I don't know if that stigma's still around. I don't know if that's like normal where it doesn't smell like shit. Couldn't tell you. But when I went, it really wasn't too bad. Yeah, the Smash World Tour is canceled, and there's really nothing they could do to like make it happen now. It's way too late. This happened the night before Thanksgiving and only a couple weeks out from the championships. Like, there's no way they could put it on anymore. But that brings us to the next point. Ludwig came in here slinging a little bit of meat. So, Ludwig said in response to the Panda and Nintendo lackluster, or in response to the Nintendo and lackluster statement from I just had a glitch there. In response to Panda and Nintendo's lackluster statements, Ludwig is hosting his own impromptu tournament, hoping to pretty much overshadow Panda, take some wind out of their sails. So he's doing a big prize pool, and he's invited the top 8 from the Smash World Tour rankings. That, of course, includes Light. Unfortunately, Cole is not top 8. I think he's number 10, so he didn't make the invitation, which is a shame, which he would have for Smash World Tour. But it's still great that he's doing this, regardless. The new Smash World Tour statement directly contradicts Nintendo. Oh, I know, I already mentioned that. What Nintendo and Panda is stating was not the reality of what Smash World Tour was told, nor what they received in writing. So it's nothing from Nintendo and Panda. They've done a terrible job. Yep, that is the reality of the situation. Alan got greedy, wanting a little monopoly on Smash tournaments, or at least, at the very least, a Smash circuit, and in doing so may have burned his entire company to the ground. Because Panda, without their players, and without players to play in their tournaments, they have nothing. There's always going to be someone willing to accept to play. I would agree with you in any other scene, but Smash Bros, you get like actual lollipop sticks for a prize. So it's not like there's a huge monetary incentive to compete. The reason you compete is because you want to be the best, or you want to support your local scene. And if you don't like the org that's putting on the tournament, it's not like you have a big incentive to go there and play for fucking $15. Like, you're not gonna bother if you don't like that company. Over the last year, Smash has been eating good from their tournaments, with people like Ludwig, Summit popping off. Like, they've had big prize pools, but that's not the norm. That is far from the norm.